You all set? I'd like to call to order the Westerly Town Council meeting for Monday, March 2nd, 2026. First on the agenda is invocation with Councilor Petra.
First of all, I'd like to have a moment's silence for the 4 soldiers who bravely gave their life for the war in the Middle East, and in Iran in particular. Thank you. And in the same theme, and that war in Iran, Council Vandover gave me a nice prayer here that I'm going to read. A prayer for protection. Lord, thank you for the men and women who have stepped up to serve and protect our country. May they know the blessing of serving well. Thank you for your promise to never leave or forsake your people. We pray for the protection of our armed forces serving our country in Iran. Help them to be strong and courageous, and do not let them be discouraged. Help them to feel your presence. Help them to stay morally strong and free from untoward influence. Keep them healthy and free from sickness as well as injury. Guide them, be their eyes and their ears as they move around and carry out your order and missions.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we have recognitions, awards, and memorials. And before we get to that, I just want to take a moment to send our appreciation, the town council's appreciation, to our town manager, our DPW, and our water department for the heroic work they did last Sunday and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to to open up all the streets on Tuesday to be passable. I work in Newport, and they got hit pretty hard, and their constraints might be a little bit more than Westerly's, but they're just opening it up today in front of Town Hall, no less. Town Manager Lacey was all over this issue from Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Monday, informing the council of progress, which is much appreciative because we got a lot of calls and people are wondering, when is my street going to be plowed? Well, we had, epic snowfall, and you kept up with it. Our staff kept up with it and allowed us to get free on a very timely basis. Tuesday afternoon, I was able to get to, all my properties and start shoveling them out. So thank you so much for Sean, what you did. And for those who don't know, Sean was even in a plow truck on Monday night and Tuesday and Wednesday. I saw it parked in the front. I kind of thought that, what a great job. And it was on the radio too. People called into the WPRO and mentioned how great our town manager was doing and being hands-on with the plow trucks. And it was such a difficult storm. It fell so quickly in the whiteout, it couldn't be kept up on a normal basis. And the trucks themselves didn't have the capacity, and getting the right equipment in the right spots to keep the arterial roads open, something that you organized, you and Pete Caradillo and staff. So it's much appreciated. Anybody want to add? Or
I kind of had a whole thing written out, but lucky for you guys, it's on the printer at home. So I know we saw a lot of town managers on the news, and ours is a little camera shy, but I want to promise everybody I did try to get a photo of him to get circulated out there like everybody else in the state did. So I just wanted to echo what President Duhamel said. And speaking with other counselors, we found out that you even, before the storm even hit, you targeted those trees that had limbs that were probably going to knock out some power. So there was a lot of proactive work there, not just by town manager, but I know from DPW and all of our EMS. But I also kind of wanted to address the residents. the families that were navigating a extra long February vacation. I know that that was really tough. So I just wanted to, mention the parents who unexpectedly became full-time activity coordinators and snack givers. I see you. And, we all, like you mentioned, the phone calls, we all heard a lot, but the one thing I did see is an extraordinary amount of people responding on social media for calls for action on going over to their neighbors' houses, going wherever they could with their own personal equipment. I had a single mom give me a call and said, "Hey, I know you're hearing a lot of really bad things, but my neighbor showed up with dinner for 2 nights for me and my 2 kids." So there was a lot of good that was happening in such a historic moment. And I wanted to give a lot of grace to our residents who had their life uprooted, kind of like all of us did. But thank you all for your patience, and thank you to every first responder that we have. They did incredible, using plows to pull out other plows. It was very, very good. So thank you all for everything.
Anybody want to add? So that you served Wesley, you made Wesley proud, Sean. Good, great job. How do the men like it? Whether you had to send them home one night at 2 in the morning, or?
Obviously, as you indicated, it was a tricky storm. Our equipment can handle, not just Westerly, it's any community in the state, can't handle 28 inches of snow in one dump. The plow trucks are getting stuck. I mean, the truck I had, if you got onto a road that wasn't plowed, I couldn't do it. It comes up over the hood of the truck. You had to use loaders to clear it. So after 30 hours of work, you had to relieve the people that were working for 30 hours. They have to go home. So my hat goes off to all the management side. I mean, we had Max Pizzato from the water side plowing, all the members of his group. They had a water main break Monday night in Robin Hills. Of course, when it rains, it pours, right? And the blizzard's coming to an end. They had a water main break. They had to call the crew in to do that. That was some of them which were plowing. So we spent most of the afternoon Monday pulling plows out, because they were getting stuck. Had to pull them off the road at one point because the whiteout conditions were so severe. And then when the plow drivers went home, we started having them go 8-hour shifts going home and coming back in. But all the management side were plowing the entire time. Peter, all the management. I mean, Peter was here for 30 hours straight. I mean, hats off to everyone involved, because we certainly couldn't have cleared the roads up. And now they'll be this entire week. They'll be clearing intersections. As I indicated, we got some assistance from Connecticut DOT, sent down some big snow blowers. I don't know if anyone saw any, to clear the streets and dump the snow into the yards. So they hit a bunch of the neighborhoods. We had those through Sunday morning, 6 a.m., and then they went off to another town. Fortunately, we're close enough to Connecticut. We got them first, which is a good thing, right? So we certainly did take the assistance, but hats off to everyone involved. We got through it, and I guess we hope spring comes very quickly, right? As it's been nicer weather today. It wasn't so nice, but it's been warm enough with it's been melting. So we had to remove all the snow downtown, as you saw, and intersections. We're removing snow now. You'll see we stockpiled it all up at the boat launch across from McQuaid's, because we can just push it into the river, because we did get clearance to do that. So it definitely was a challenge. It was more snow than 78, but like I tell everyone, in 78, I was in elementary school and had no responsibility, and it was fun. This isn't so much fun. So, but all in all, it worked out. We were clear by Tuesday, like you said, Tuesday afternoon, all the roads were 1-lane passable. And then from there, we widened them up. So according to DOT officials that were going to every community, we were like top on having stuff clear. So hats off to everyone involved, really.
That's awesome. Thank you. Right. Moving to our agenda, 2A appreciation, ratify Edie Jacobson, 50th anniversary at the Wesley Senior Center. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good. Next, presentations. This is a draft marketing plan update. by Douglas Brockway, Chairman of the Economic Development Commission. Doug, welcome.
It's supposed to be. I haven't looked at it yet. Here's the.
So this is an update as you get set up, Doug. This is an update to the town council. The town council had asked for a marketing plan of your economic development committee to look at opportunities within Westerly, beyond what the beach offers, what sectors could be promoted for Westerly. And it's been a few months now. I forget exactly when we asked for this, but this is the first update that.
No, that's a Word document. Okay, well, that would be what they got. I always wanted to use this. What was attached to the agenda is different than the summary PowerPoint that was shared out. So I'll just speak from the PowerPoint. This is the entire plan that's being broadcast. Okay. So this status update on where we are on marketing plan for Westerly, just for, especially for people who are listening, and you guys all know what I'm about to say. The comprehensive plan happens to be on page 85. Says that we should develop the town should develop a comprehensive marketing plan for Westerly, targeting developers and potential new businesses. That's the way it's written. It's a program, which means it's not a one-off project. It's describing what the town should do continuously for a while. In July of this year, this town council added to that they asked the EDC to develop possible marketing message promoting new year-round industries in Westerly. And so with the status where we are is that we have a draft of a plan, one that I think is workable. It does not have timing and budget and resources behind it because I haven't sat down with Sean and his staff to even propose such a thing to the town council, but it does describe what we think could be done, and there are a number of different avenues we could take as to how to get some of this done. In developing the plan, we interviewed a large number of people, interviewed across a wide spectrum of businesses, and in the PowerPoint that also in this plan here, we interviewed from the business side, people like the Ballones who own Maria's and the Haversham and other properties, a manufacturer, Warwick Hangar, Gray Sail Brewery, Maxon Automatic, US Extruders, High Hope Tavern, Parsons Kellogg, which took a while to get that interview because of schedules, but and there was a workshop that the Ocean Chamber arranged with some of their members. There were 3 or 4 people in there in that workshop. Went to the Westerly Education Center, spoke with both Wood River Health and Westerly Hospital. Both of those were at the executive levels of those institutions. Arts and entertainment is an important anchor for this town, and it's an important element of our current economy. And along those lines, we spoke with the new Westerly Museum of American Impressionism, and you ought to go. It's wonderful. The United Theater and Westerly Chorus have all spoken with us. And we spent some time with the head of the Rhode Island Manufacturers Association. We're waiting to get some more feedback from that, but we did that. So the idea behind the plan is to communicate both inside Westerly, not just to the outside world, but inside Westerly and to the outside world, what kinds of businesses and industries work well in Westerly, what fits well with Westerly, what we might be looking for. And to get that information out so that people are aware of what Westerly's strengths are and what we're interested in extending, and try and get them interested in doing more business in Westerly. We have a lot of strengths. We have a very strong hospital ecosystem. The arts and entertainment have been very strong for some time. The retail economy is reasonably diverse, much smaller than it was in the heyday. But we have a solid industrial base with manufacturing, machine shops, and engineering companies included in there. I skipped a point: healthcare and food services, retail manufacturing. So the healthcare, the accommodation, food service, retail manufacturing, that's about 70% of the current jobs in town. As it turns out, the plan is deliberately about the year-round economy. It's not about how do we get more people to come to the beaches in the summer. It's not covered. That subject isn't covered at all. However, for people who are interested in moving their business to town or establishing a capability in town, or people who are interested in coming here to find work, the coastal lifestyle is a clear and obvious draw. It attracts people. There are multiple examples of people who have moved their companies to town because they were coming here in the summer and they said, why don't I have my business where I live? Live where I like to go on the vacation. In the various discussions that we've had, before we came before this group, plan was to have a meeting in January with the planning board. We never had a meeting in January. And so we invited them to the February meeting of the EDC, and there's a joint meeting then. 4 or 5 members of the planning board were at that meeting. And an idea sort of gelled in that meeting, and it goes like this. There's not a lot of real estate available in the town for anything large. Not that anyone wants anything large, but there's whatever lots are available for placing a business, they're all of moderate to small size. And so the health of our economy or any movement to improvement that we might offer should not be along those lines. If someone comes up with a brilliant idea on doing something important, like a larger manufacturing center or educational or an engineering center of some size, love to hear it, I guess, but I don't know where they put it. However, we do have a strong current economy, and what we should do is focus on trying to find people from the outside who want to either buy the products that we make here or buy the services we offer here, or sell theirs into Westerly and make the current established base of economy more robust and work on that. And while that's going on, new businesses can come in to the extent that we have the footprints and the resources to support them. We think that the plan suggests that if our strengths are promoted alongside proactive public policies, we'll be able to have a vibrant, sustainable business into the future. So we think the first target should be help existing businesses by finding outside businesses we're looking to buy from or sell to Westerly. And then the inside businesses, then people looking for jobs. And in order to facilitate all that, we think we should have a marketing effort that makes the intermediaries who help all these people aware of and interested in Westerly. And by intermediaries, we mean commercial real estate brokers, people who are brokers for businesses, attorneys, bankers, those kinds of folks who are not directly involved in the businesses we might want to promote who are here or get new businesses in, but make sure that the influencers, if you want to use that terminology, are aware and interested in Westerly and what our strengths are. So those are the main areas we're interested in there. So this next bit has not changed much since it was offered to you in, I think, November. Small and medium-sized businesses are the core of our interest. Intermediaries that help them find businesses or pursue investments or pursue markets of people in Westerly who sell what they need. And we think the marketing plan should attack or address interaction with and awareness on the regional educational institution as a support of both business, as a source of both business ideas and employees. To the extent there's a market focus, our three strongest would be healthcare, general and industrial, which was manufacturing, machining related, engineering, and arts and entertainment. The issue is there are plenty of other businesses that in town that don't fit those categories. And as long as Westerly is promoting itself properly, they should get benefit also. But you might imagine if you have a social media campaign about Westerly is a great place to locate your business, and there's an internet community in healthcare, they might have slightly different text in the message that appears there in their social media feeds than a general audience, that kind of emphasis. In order to do this, in order to take any action on this, the EDC believes that the town needs someone in the town staff who is responsible for leading the operating efforts. They have to keep the messaging current and targeted. They have to coordinate and manage the web presence and social media presence. And they have to apply our messages in all relevant Westerly communications. They should also be the first stop on a concierge basis. You could say if someone calls the town hall and say, I'm interested in doing business in town, what's the background, what's the story? Well, right now, I guess it goes to the planning office, which is understaffed as it is. But we think there should be somebody who's got a business orientation and a business purpose in that group focused on pursuing the aims of the marketing plan. So the next steps that we have so far: create and fill an internal staff position to support the implementation, ongoing management of the plan. Desired skills should be, or at least experiences some understanding of municipal marketing, product and service marketing, message development, testing of messages, their use and their measurement, and social media and website, either development or oversight, because that's where most of the messages should go out, not in a lot of brochures and stuff, but messages electronically delivered and received. External resources could be or should be contracted to create and maintain low-cost, simple but clear website and social media presence for town marketing. We should develop and implement an outreach campaign to industrial and commercial businesses in Westerly to better understand their key needs, who they sell to, who they buy from, and targeting the messages of the town and targeting the support of the marketing person that would be on town staff. A couple of people who we spoke to said they could do a lot more business than they can do right now if they could get trained staff. And it's hard for them to get enough trained staff. And I don't have any established evidence beyond that. That's what they say. But it has been commented that there are certain kinds of training that are well supported by grants from the federal government, et cetera. And it would be nice then it is proposed to us that it was mostly defense-oriented kind of training. It would be good if we could match that kind of training for non-defense, regular kinds of jobs, make it easier for our employers in town to actually train people to do the work that they believe that they have. And the rest are notes on a personal matter. I'm not going to present that.
Thank you for that summary. Thank you for the draft that you put in the town records. This is a requirement of the town comprehensive plan in order to update this marketing. You've outlined a number of target businesses and organizations and what Westerly has to offer. Besides the businesses, the education center, the healthcare, arts and entertainment, which is exciting for Westerly, and manufacturing. I think to grow this more, I would look to the council for your input. But eventually, I think this should go to well, first the planning department, then the planning board for their input to polish this up, and then the Rhode Island Commerce to see what, if anything, the state can do to help promote Westerly and these industries that have been identified as important to Westerly. So if anybody has anything to offer, Councilor Niemeyer?
Well, first of all, thank you for the work you and the EDC have done on this for months now. I know you guys have been hard at work at it, and you've been trying to solicit folks all over town. It's been a monumental effort for what I might remind people is a volunteer organization, our EDC, and yet you've worked tirelessly to put this together. You did already have some conversations with Commerce RI, if I remember correctly. Do you want to
Yes.
share a little bit about that?
So, my interest in reaching out with Commerce RI first was did not know very much at the time about what they did and how Westerly could take advantage of it. And what they could do to help us on the idea of a year-round economy and marketing to it. Excuse me. And so Melissa Davey and I had first a phone call and then in-person meeting here with a person from Commerce RI. Let's see. They're very active in Westerly, whether we know it or not. Most of their activity so far, in my opinion, is tourism oriented, which isn't the focus of what we're doing. It's not clear to me that they have a lot of resources we can use right now on this, outside of showing them the plan and asking for their input and changes that they might offer to it, or maybe resources will pop out from it. Along those lines, as it happens, there's a gentleman, I forget his last name, he's got the wonderful first name of Doug, is the EDC chair in Narragansett. And he's arranged a meeting in early April for EDC types for any towns that want to show up to find out all the things that the state can do to help you grow business. And so some number of us will go. I discussed that idea with when the planning board, Matt O'Neill and others were in the room. So they may or may not send somebody, some people. It's unclear to me how much resource we actually have available to us from the state, but I want to know more. Right now, Commerce RI, they have journalists come to town and go to the Ocean House, and that's wonderful. And go to the Market Street Inn or go to the Haversham and stuff like that. That's all very interesting, but it's not, how do I find markets for the manufacturers in the engineering firms in town? The person we met with didn't know much about that.
Okay. Now, you mentioned in terms of taking things forward, there may be some opportunities for a member of town staff to be assigned that particular concierge duty. Is there an example in the region of a town that's doing that kind of thing well that we could look to?
I don't think I can speak at length about regional examples. I know most towns of size have somebody who's the point person. A full-fledged marketing organization, you have to be pretty large to have that. But somebody whose job it is to be the point person and making sure that whatever message we want to promote is documented, it gets used, it gets changed a little bit as time goes on, or the submarket you're targeting changes a little bit. Someone who is a hub, a communicator, different than being able to run development projects.
I'd love to, maybe I can do some of this myself. I'd love to poke around and just see who's really kind of dug their heels in on this and figured out a good way to go about it. During the meeting with the planning board, one thing that was brought up is the fact that for some of the, let's say, less than strengths that Westerly has, including a lack of land to develop, some of our neighboring communities have more of that available. And some of the things that they lack, we have.
Right.
Do you think there's any merit to potentially pursuing this as a greater regional strategy rather than as a go it alone for Westerly?
There is the short answer is almost certainly for me. There's a sense that I have that I've been describing while working on the commuter rail subject, that there's a natural economy from Narragansett at least to New London, maybe New Haven if you want to go that far. But there's a reason for those various communities to present themselves to the external world in a similar manner so that we can raise all boats. I don't know if, this meeting that's going to be in Narragansett in April, I don't know if that's the actual intent of the guy who's arranging it. He seems to be new to government service, but I spoke with him for about 10 minutes one day. We'll find out. Dylan has been I forget the name of the organization of the
Washington County Regional Planning.
Yeah, so there's been a general interest in that for a while, but it hasn't gotten a lot of traction. And so in South County, it's hard. Across the river in Connecticut, they have something called Sector, Southeastern Connecticut, I forget what the R stands for, which is a fairly formal organization that came out of when Electric Boat was having challenges in the early 80s. And they make loans and they have consultants who come in and help your business, and they try and target specific industries or things that they want to get done. They're funded by the state of Connecticut for that purpose. And we're talking a bit of evolution down the pike for South County, but if we had something similar and could work with them, then we could make that economy from Narragansett to New London hum quite a bit, I would think.
That'd be really interesting. Sector is a very interesting hybrid organization because they're sort of set up as an independent entity, but they were set up by the state as a specific vehicle, almost like a community development fund.
Yeah.
But not quite. They're very interesting, and I would love to actually see something like that develop in this area. Maybe that meeting in April will be the first stirrings of something like that. I'd love to attend myself.
Well, I'm sure you'd be welcome. The point of the meeting is that Commerce RIs and the Labor Department and somebody else, I don't have it, didn't bring that material here, are going to be there and say to all the people, this is what we do, this is how you tap our resources, this is how that works. So out of that meeting, if nothing else, for the purposes of our Westerly focused plan, we'll either have better ideas about how to get help, or we'll know that we're really on our own. I mean, something, that's the spectrum. I don't know what the answer is until I go to the meeting.
Well, looking forward to that and looking forward to the work you guys produce on this. Thank you again for doing it.
Very good. Any other councilors want to speak at this time? Councilor LaPetra?
Well, Doug, I think we agree on the analysis. The conclusion is where we go stray a little bit. I mean, you were spot on, and I think even Michael touched on it. We don't have, I mean, we tasked you with finding a possible marketing message promoting year-round industries in Westerly, and you said it, and Michael said it, and I've said it, and many others. We don't have the available spaces for these industries to come in. I mean, what we're looking for, we can't accommodate. Study over. I mean, where do you want to go from here? I mean, we could play this game and try to spin it in some other way, but that was our goal. We're not going to be able to reach our goal. I think it dies in the vine. That's my opinion. I will say, I mean, I see what we're doing. One thing I don't like is the same sounding board. We always use the same people with the same set of goals. It's the non-residents. It's the Allison Crokes and the Lisa Knickys, and then you have a couple, always the same handful of bar and restaurant owners. And I could probably tell you what they all said, maybe not verbatim, but they all said, we need to have more low-income housing so I can hire more $4 an hour workers for my seasonal job so I could sell food to tourists. And that's, I mean, we're doing that. We're already doing that. I think we just let things go as they're going. I don't know if we need to get really involved in it because we can't do what we want to do because we don't have the available land. We don't have another Moore's Mill site to bring in people. We don't have another BDA site. We don't have an ability to bring in that year-round manufacturer because we don't have the places to put them. I thank you for your efforts. I checked out of this at this point. Thank you, though.
May I talk to that a little bit?
Sure.
I think you slightly misunderstand what I said.
Go ahead.
I don't know about you, but I have had sales and marketing jobs in the past. I've had both. I have had marketing department report to me. I've had to manage the pipeline of sales across consulting offices in 4 cities in the US at the same time to understand what work is actually coming in. So how many people do we have to have on staff, and or do we have to let people go, and all that kind of stuff. One thing that becomes very, very clear, it's far easier to sell to an existing customer than it is to create a new one. And the change in emphasis that crystallized, I'll call it, in the February meeting with the planning board staff is change the emphasis of the marketing plan, change the first point of the marketing plan to help the current businesses in Westerly get more business, because they already have active markets of people who are willing to buy from them or people that they want to buy from. Help them do more of that. And while we're going, if that becomes more healthy, we'll get small and medium-sized businesses to help fill us out and be more robust. Which is slightly different from what you said.
Well, if we can't lose sight of our original goal, though, to promote year-round industry. So if you do want to do that, then the people to focus on is the max. Looking at this list, the max in automatic machinery. I mean, I would stay away from the bars and the restaurants, and we said we wanted to. We don't need help with tourism. We admit that tourism takes care of itself because we have a beautiful beach. So maybe we just focus on some of the local industry that we have now. I'd be okay for that. I mean, if that's where this goes.
There'd be focus there, but also the arts and entertainment, which includes the bars and the restaurants, has a year-round aspect that's much stronger than it ever was and should be supported.
Okay, and I mean, you're just talking basically the United Theater and the new museum. I mean, I'm not, I mean, are they paying $80,000 a year, these jobs? My goal was to get good paying jobs year round. You know, that was the ultimate.
That would be nice.
All right, all right.
Why
I'm gonna
don't
pass.
we leave it at that and go continue with the other counselors? Counselor Vandover, thank you.
That would be her, thank you.
I just had a seizure.
It's okay. I have blank moments like that too, I get it. Okay, so Doug, I just have a question about the plan that you just put in front of us. Was this anything different than what you presented to us, 2 months ago? Was there something in here different? Because I just want to make sure I didn't miss something.
I mean, my last time in front of the town council,
Yeah,
it's somewhat more filled in and richer.
okay,
I'll call it the conclusive sense about trying to attract large-scale new businesses as being not something we want a plan to worry about. That's new, because we hadn't discussed that at any length before. There've been a lot of things, bits and pieces going around to a regional sense that Mr. Niemeyer pointed out. Had a conversation, I don't know when, 2 months ago, when Jean Gagne started talking about how there are a lot of people in town who already work at Electric Boat. Maybe there are other places in the region where there is enough real estate to put in a larger facility where people in town could get work. Isn't that good for Westerly? And the short answer to that is, under the right conditions, yes. So that's a kind of regional impact that you don't have to put a factory or a data center or an engineering facility physically inside the land footprint of Westerly for it to be a benefit to us.
correct. Okay, I mean, I've been at the EDC meetings and I just still feel like marketing is an ever-changing situation, right? Properties come available, properties disappear off the market, things like that. So I just feel like we're not really getting anywhere fast. I almost feel like we should put something up somehow on our website, our town website, because that's already there and that's already paid for. And from there, tweak it. I mean, we've been doing this for months and we don't seem to be getting anywhere fast. So that's something that I'm concerned with. As far as the healthcare goes, we did speak to the folks that came here from the state, and they're aware of the problem with the reimbursements and et cetera. So with the healthcare, as far as that goes, the state is got to do something on their end. So that bit is out of our hands. Question, Chamber of Commerce, what's their job? Is their job to get people to talk about our town, right? To try to promote what's going on in our town? Am I correct when I say that? Is that what a chamber is supposed to do?
I mean,
Per se?
I don't think I can speak at length to what their function is, but I would think it's more focused on their members than the town. There's a lot of overlap, and so if they worked hard, that's to the benefit of the town, but their focus is on the members.
Okay, the reason I ask you that question is because we give them 50K every year out of our budget, and what are they doing with it? They're supposed to be promoting all of our town's businesses. That's my impression. That's the reason we give them the money, okay? That's my opinion, but I'm sure that's what everybody else's thinks. So here we are trying to get a marketing plan up when we have a Chamber of Commerce whom we're already paying $50,000 to go ahead and get to promote our town, and it's not happening. They can do what they want, but we're giving them $50,000. My question is, and it's not your problem, what are they doing with it? If that's supposed to be to help them promote our town, there's your marketing plan.
In all respect.
Hold on.
Counselor,
Hold on.
that.
Ms.
I
Ms.
said it
Vandover
wasn't
has
on
the
him.
floor. Ms.
I'm
Vandover.
making a
Point of
point.
Point of order. Ms.
Point
Van-
of order.
I'm making a point,
Point of order.
Okay.
The chamber will be here to defend their budget in this budget season.
and that's fine, and we
So
will
it's
deal
not-
with it
It's not
there.
up to the Economic Development Committee.
However, in this plan, it mentions the Chamber of Commerce.
They were interviewed.
No, they were in here as someone to bang ideas off of with the EDC. So it's in it's in this marketing
That's what
plan.
an interview-
Okay.
Point of order,
what
Mr.
they-
President. This
Okay.
isn't a back and forth.
Anyway.
Ms. Vandover has the floor. Please let her
So-
finish.
What we need is manufacturing. We need good paying jobs. We need to invest into the manufacturing jobs that we have here currently, the ones that we need to support, okay? What can we do for them? What can we do for them in order for us to put out some kind of a positive message for others to come here?
The main thing that the manufacturers we talk to are interested in is ways to hire and retain more people.
Mhm.
So that's why the comment about training in a broader sense than defense-oriented was in there. They all said, all the manufacturers and/or engineering we spoke to, they all seem to, I'm not in the business of challenging what they tell me in a conversation, but every single one of them, if they could get more people, would accept more work. And so they seem to be limited, at least in the small part, if not substantive part, in terms of the availability of skilled staff to do the work that they want. So the marketing plan, to the extent it addresses that, would make it clear to people who are interested in manufacturing or engineering or machining kinds of jobs, make it clear that there are jobs available in Westerly. Here's a bunch of them. And this is why Westerly is a hell of a place to come to work, much less live. And so that's what you would do with the plan. And it wouldn't just be on a website, and certainly not on a website that looks as uninteresting as a town website, something more interesting, but also in social media, and so, which is where especially people somewhat younger than I get most of their information.
So with that being said as well, what do we have for vacant land? Was any of that ever, I know that that was on your list of things to do. What do we have for buildings? What do we have for different buildings in different, zones? What, do we have a list or something?
I haven't seen a list yet.
Okay, I actually have one. So
Well, why not share it?
I will,
Instead of playing a get me.
I'm not playing a get you game.
just did. It's really
No,
just.
I'm
trivial.
asking you if these things were gotten by the EDC. I just got this.
Okay, the answer
So
is
I'm not
no.
trying to get you, Doug. That's
Why'd
not
you
it at
start with
all.
that?
Because I wanted to know, to be honest with you, I couldn't remember where I got this from. I didn't remember if it came from the EDC or it came from zoning. But you just answered my
One of the
question. I'm
members
not
of
trying to
the-
catch
one
you
of the
or
members
get
of
you.
the
I'm
EDC
trying to help you.
One of the members of the EDC manually went through the GIS, which is different from me having a report that I want, and I haven't been able to fix that yet.
Okay, but so I think this did come from you guys.
Well, Michael might have summarized that, which is different since nobody else can look at it. I don't know how much
Well,
I
here,
trust it
here
yet.
you go. I can make sure, I can get it to you. I think that is yours. So again, I just feel like we're spinning our wheels, trying
Do
to
you
get
have
a
any other
marketing plan
questions,
up off
Councilor
the,
Vandover?
Chris,
Mr. President,
why
I
are
don't
we-
interrupt you when you're speaking. Why are you doing that to me?
I apologize, but it's.
Just, I'll wrap it up. I'll wrap it up. I'm not rambling.
I
I'm just
apologize.
saying, this is my opinion, that we're spinning our wheels here. And if we don't get something off the ground soon, I mean, it's in the charter. It needs to get done. What are we waiting for? We got to get something off the ground. And from there, why can't we just tweak it? And that's all I have. Thank you.
Any other councilors wish to speak? Councilor Healy?
Thank you, Doug. I
Are you gonna
appreciate-
cut off Counselor Haley if she rambles as well?
Just you?
Are you?
Can you relax?
All right.
I know your side is not winning over there, so.
I have no side. I'm just
It's not
saying.
about
I think you
winning.
have a
Pick-
side.
Let's be fair if you want to call out everybody.
Let Counselor Haley speak as much as she wants.
I'd like to let everyone speak as much as they want, unlike you.
Thank you.
Sorry about this, Doug. It's pretty unprofessional, but thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate what you and the committee have done. I think a lot of the questions that were asked tonight on, why aren't we doing it? We need to do something right now. We haven't been able to do anything because we didn't have this. So we needed something to start. Does it take time to do? Yeah, this is municipal land. So I appreciate this. I agree with President Duhamel. I'd like to see this get into the planning department, planning board, go through the chain of command. And then I think a lot of the things in here are very easily attainable. I don't necessarily know that I would support a full-time, like full-year position in planning, but a contracted 1099er, get them in here, get the stuff going. But I agree with having like a point of contact that kind of wraps into we need a social services, but whatever. I had a lot of things to say, and in the past 4 seconds, it all just flew out of my head because of all of this. So I am also, as Councilor Niemeyer said, I'm also interested in that Narragansett meeting in April. If I don't want to crowd up a room, if that's, if you can touch base and see if space is available and let me know, I'd be happy. Otherwise, maybe after that, we can get together and you can tell me what happened, because I am interested in it. And I fully think that we can market Westerly as a place to work. I mean, if our current businesses don't have the people to work there, then we should be getting people here. So thank you again for everything you've done, and please extend that to the rest of the committee for me. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Doug, for coming and giving us an update from your last presentation. I know it's not always easy, the whole marketing and everything. It's kind of like a vicious cycle, we need housing to bring people to work. We need businesses for people to come to work. We need schools for the families that come to work for housing. It's a vicious cycle. It's not an easy task. So I just want to say thank you for what you've been working on, because like I said, I know it's not easy. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank the Economic Development Committee and Chairman Brockway for your work. No one else has been doing this. Only the EDC has compiled this inventory of businesses, recognizing these sectors, formulating this as required by the comprehensive plan to evaluate what's in the best interests of Westerly. And then I believe this is a good start to bring to the planning department. We're talking in the budget of having additional resources within the planning department that this might be able to fit within some of those duties if it is funded. Bring it to the planning board who have oversight of the comprehensive plan and the growth of Westerly, and supporting of businesses is what this is really. Existing businesses is what I'm seeing that this document will help. And then if it grows other businesses, we've had people at the podium say, we don't have to have more housing, we have to have more business. Businesses should be our priority. So something of this nature needs to be promoted. And I think this council, at least tonight, you have a majority that feels that what you're doing is valuable and should be continued. And whether or not it takes off the way, expectations are, will be led to be seen, but I'm hopeful that this start can really take on, especially with more help from planning staff. So thank you for coming in and showing all this, and we look forward to you working with the planning staff and the planning board and Rhode Island Commerce.
Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you in a few months, probably. Your liaisons are Councilor Vandover and Councilor Niemeyer, is that correct? So if you need anything from the council, Councilor Vandover is certainly available to bring it back to us, Councilor Niemeyer. Especially shared information like inventories of building areas. Councilor Vandover can provide that. There's no question. You do not have to go to the council to give them information. Okay. That completes the presentations. Citizens' comments. There's no sign-ups. If there's anybody in the audience that would like to speak on anything that is on the agenda, please come forward and state your name.
Oh. Hello, John Gagne. You have a resignation on your agenda, Chris Lawler
Yes.
from the planning board. And I just wanted, I happen to be here downstairs at a meeting, so I decided to stop up and add my 2 bits. Chris Lawler, you're going to accept it with regrets, very, very deep regrets. When this town needed an experienced members of the planning board, because we had the wind properties coming up, a call went out. Chris Lawler, who had served previously with distinction, and Jack Armstrong, who had served previously with distinction, came back to answer that call and help out with those things. So Chris has been a great public servant since he came to town. A smart guy, learned a lot from him. I just wanted to say, at least from my perspective, serving with him and working with him, that he was been a great public service. So thank you, Chris. So I just wanted that on the record. The only other thing I had to add was the other night at the planning board, we had Benny's finally is going to be occupied. Benny's is going to be occupied by Rings End. And during the testimony at Rings End, it kind of implies with what you're talking about. That gentleman has a very tough job. What's he trying to do? What are we trying to do, right? We're trying to market the town. Do we have anything to sell? So when Rings End came, the gentleman from Rings End who spoke to us said, we really, the site's great from a traffic perspective, but we were hoping to find a bigger piece of property, but there was none available in Westerly. So the reality is the situation is, I think, from a perspective of how do we market the town and how do we clean it. It's about, renovating, it's renewal, it's those sort of things. You're going to have in front of you the Route 1 corridor. That's what that's about. It's about adding flexibility to the property owners there. There's a lot of things, but just realize we are running out, and having all that information and that data that Councilor Vandover was asking for. How many buildable lots do we have? Before we go and spend, hey, we're going to add staff, or we're going to try to do this, or we're going to try to market us. Do you have anything to market? Because if you've got no lemonade, don't bother building a lemonade stand. So that's it. Have a good night. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else that would like to speak that's out there? Hearing none. Council's response, if any. Councilor LaPetra.
I didn't catch everything Mr. Gagne said, but the last part was exactly what I was thinking. I think, what did he say? If we don't have lemonade, don't build a lemonade stand. I thought the exact same thing, and maybe we just let it. We're going. We're making money. Town's still here. People are still coming here, flocking to Westerly. In the summers. I don't know how throwing money at another aspect of the problem that with no solution in sight is gonna do anything. So, we don't have anywhere to put these year-round businesses. We need year-round industry, but we don't have anywhere to put it. So maybe we wait until the BDA site is cleaned up in 15 years or whatever, but, I don't support, the position that was suggested, the town position of $100,000 because we don't have any lemonade.
Council Vandover?
I would just like to agree with Mr. Gagne on Chris Lawler. He's been great. He's actually taught me a lot of stuff and he will be greatly missed. So yeah, we lost a good one there, unfortunately. And I also concur with with Councilor LaPetra. Well, I mean, what do we have? What do we have to sell? What do we have to build on? I don't know. So I totally agree. Thank you.
Councilor Niemeyer?
I also want to echo a fond farewell and the deepest regrets in losing Chris Lawler. I served with him on the Charter Commission. He was a gentleman and a great person to work with. I hope he comes back and does something else for the town someday because we love having him. With regards to your other point, I think you were the first person I heard the notion of a regional approach from. Perhaps that is the way forward. The weaknesses that have been noted at length tonight about our town are not present everywhere throughout this region. And it very well may be that the things that we can bring to the table, another town lacks and vice versa. So perhaps that's our path forward.
Anyone else? I'll just get on that bandwagon for Chris Laurel as well. He was a great asset for Westerly and the planning board and development critique that served Westerly well. Thank you, Mr. Laurel. Moving down to consent calendar, approval of minutes. 5A, regular minutes of 2/2/26.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular minutes from February 2nd, 2026.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. 5B1, fiscal matters resolution authorizing deletion to the tax rolls of $813.95. Do I have a motion to approve?
I might have to recuse one of these, Chris. Which one was this now?
I saw.
Is this the
Feature
individual?
was on there. Is that a-
Yeah, the one with Candace LaPetra on there. Is that this one or is that the next agenda? All right, I got to recuse on this.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilor Niemeyer, second by Councilor Shalaba. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution approved. C, resignations and appointments. Councilor Healy?
Thank you. The Appointments Subcommittee accepts the resignation of Mr. Robert Serra with regret, as well as the resignation from Christopher Lawler, also with regret.
Motion made to accept both with regret.
Second.
Councilor Healy. Second by Councilor Shalaba. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Sarah and
Yes.
Mr. Lawler.
And the Appointments Subcommittee is going to nominate Jeffrey Russo for the Planning Board to move to the full seat.
I'm going to recuse from this.
Do we need a motion? Okay. I would like to say that it was the quickest jump up in history from alternate to a permanent seat in
Well
1
deserved.
week and counting.
Do you want to accept that, Mary?
Oh. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, we'll move forward.
The Appointments Subcommittee nominates to reappoint Dana Horton for the Board of Assessment Review.
A motion for Dana Hartman. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Thank you, Ms. Horton.
Thank you, thank you.
That concludes the resignations and appointments. on the consent calendar. Next, our public hearings. This was advertised on 2/14/26 for this time.
I make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
This is for a proposed ordinance, an ordinance establishing a general business registration requirement for all businesses in the town of Westerly entitled Business Registration. Discussion, possible action, motions on the table for open the public hearing, seconded by Councilor Shalaba. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are now in a public hearing. Is there anybody in the public that would wish to speak to the proposed ordinance for business registration? No one's in the audience. Seeing none, councilors,
Let me explain just quick. So Mary, you can explain or I can. This was created as a result of, we were charging, there was a business registration process, if I'm saying it correctly, Mary, that there was a fee charge that the state is now taking over that fee. We can no longer charge it. It's going to the state side. So we just implemented an ordinance basically in the process that we currently do to establish a fee on our end. You miss Mary?
Yeah, the state took over all of the trade names, so we can no longer record anything as a trade name. So in order to keep track of all of the businesses in Westerly, we created this ordinance to have a business registration.
Councilor Vandover?
When we talk about businesses, are we talking about Joe working out of his house, running his business?
Yes, he
He's
would
a-
have, yes,
He's a-
Okay, I mean, I'm saying like he's a one-man band, he's just a,
yes.
whatever he does.
They used to record a certificate of ownership, which established their trade names. We can no longer do that because they're taken over by the state to be in one central location. So we've created this business registration, and it will only affect businesses. If we issue a license to a business, they don't have to do this. But if we do not issue that type of license, like a home business or something, they would need a business registration.
So if they happen to live in Rhode Island and but only work in Connecticut, are they included, is that included there? Like say they don't have a Rhode Island license to,
So Westerly business.
It'd be a foreign entity in Connecticut. So this is just for, the DBA stands for doing business as. It says you used to register doing business as with the town hall. It wasn't something they did with the state. Now they want to do it with the state.
okay.
My problem is now we want to charge people $25 a pop here, but we'll circle back to that. But it's the old DBAs. That's what this is. The doing business as.
Okay.
So there's going to be with the state rather than the town.
It's basically, Rose, data keeping, so we know the businesses that are registered in the town of Westerly only.
Independent.
Not the businesses that do business in Westerly. If somebody lives in Charlestown and they have a plumbing business in Charlestown, they don't register in Westerly, they can do business in Westerly.
Mhm.
It's only Westerly businesses that reside, have addresses in Westerly. It's a data keeping, so we know what businesses, we just talked to the EDC trying to figure out what 15,000 businesses, 100 or whatever it was are in town. It keeps track of them.
So that would be an independent contractor?
Independent contractor. But if you look at the ordinance, it outlines if you're I believe if you have to apply for like a liquor license, you're exempt from this, Mary, is that correct?
Mhm.
If we issue a license to them, they do not have to do this business registration.
Like a business, like downtown, it could be a clothing to a restaurant, a bar, or they don't have to do this because they have a license issued by the town on a separate entity, so we have that data of that business. This is the sole proprietors, the Joe the plumber, the electrician.
The little guy that mows your lawn, him too?
Right. If it's
Dang,
a
man, you guys
registered
are
business
getting
of
really
Westerly.
little, wow, that hurts. 16-year-old kid trying to start a business and he's gonna get tagged. Anyway, okay, thank you. You clarified that for me.
Any other questions? Councilor LaPetra?
All right, so it's I don't have the ordinance in front of me, but if I'm not mistaken, now they're paying $20 one time to the state of Rhode Island. Is that what it is? Okay, and that's to get their fictitious name, which anyone out there at home, if you just put your name in your fictitious name, you don't have to do that. A lot of people don't know that, and I guess if you only really need to do it if you want to. Oh, thank you. Okay. All right, well, getting off that, so what does the town want? We want to charge them $25, Sean? Is that where we come into play here?
Proposed, we had charged 10 previously, right, Mary, for years. It's been that way for years. And so this is proposing
like
a
inflation?
$25 fee.
And this is a one-time charge, is $25, or is this every
No, it's
year?
an annual.
Annual
charge,
$25, huh? I mean, do we need this to balance the budget here, or what are we doing?
It's probably been, I don't even know, Mary, how long has it been $10? How long has it been $10?
That's a recording fee. That's been quite a
How long
while.
has it been that way?
I don't know how many years, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know if we need $25. I'll let the rest of the, $25 a year, just another fee for a small business in the most unfriendly state in the country for small business. That's up to you guys if you want to do this. I'll leave it to my fellow councilors. I mean, it's not the end of the world, $25, but
Again,
I
it
don't
just
know.
allows us to track what we have in town.
well, we could
know
track
what
them for
we have
10
in town.
too. I mean, we're just grabbing an extra $15, and we could track them for 10.
Right, but every year, the salaries of the people that work downstairs to track this go up.
All right, I get you. I understand.
Any other comments, questions? Councilor
Can
Vandover?
I talk again? Is that all right?
Yep.
Okay. It says this information is critical for zoning, police protection, fire protection, and other services provided by the town. How so?
It lets us know the business location as to where they're operating out of. It lets, the address of location. Some people have home offices, so you know what type of business is out of there. So for the public safety side of things, to know what you have for businesses and where. You're shaking your head no?
I find it a little, I don't know.
Well, there's
I
certain
feel
things
like
you-
it's
there's
such an
certain things you
infringement.
can do in certain areas under zoning in town. If you have a home office,
Yeah,
you can do it in a residential area. You can't manufacture things out of a residential garage. So if they register in that, it's gonna flag it on the zoning side and say, no, you can't do that there. Like a example, like, because we deal, a lawnmower repair guy working out of his garage in his backyard, you can't do it in a residential neighborhood. So if
okay.
he registered there, it would flag it and say, no, you can't operate that type of business there.
So I don't know. I just feel like this is such a, you're picking on the little guy, I don't, I'm
This is
not
a-
happy about this at
Right,
all.
this is a registration we've had all along.
Yeah, we've been.
It's nothing's changed. We're just, because the fee changed with the state,
no,
we
I
had to put it
understand
in
that.
ordinance format.
I understand that it's an increase. I don't know. I don't like this whole thing to be at all.
I mean, but
just-
that's what we're doing. We can't call it a trade name, a certificate of ownership. We have to call it a business registration. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
concerned about the fee, then
It's not even so much that. I like, when does the little guy get a break?
yeah, but they need something to go to the bank to show so that they can open up a checking account. They used to use their certificate of ownership. We can't do that anymore. So we're doing this business registration.
Okay, my last question is, how are you going to know? How are you going to know if somebody's working out of their house or not?
The neighbors tell us all kinds of things. If the guy next door is fixing a lawnmower, we get a call, believe me.
That's terrible. Okay, thank you.
Councilor Niemeyer?
Just out of curiosity, so it sounds like there was a particular class of licenses that we used to give out that are now being covered by the state. Is that what's happening?
The state took the fee, correct, Mary? The state took the fee.
They
changed
took
the
over
law.
trade names.
Trade names, which is what we used to establish, which people could register here. Then they could go take out their checking account at the bank, or you could get your license in the state or whatever. I mean, you got to figure a contractor, you have to have a license with the state. You have to have insurance, all this stuff you have to provide to the state to even be able to do business in town or anywhere in the state.
So now the state is forming their own database that does this, and now we're forming a duplicative one here. Could we not ask them for that information?
Well,
Then we want to get the $25, Mike.
well, you wouldn't, but I think we have to, in order for you to register them, Mary, you can't use the state's data, correct? I mean, we're not, the state's creating this now and they're taking over this fee on their end.
Yeah, like I said, they're taking over the trade names. We can't record that anymore. So we came up with the certificate of ownership. It also helps the assessor's office to know what businesses are operating in town.
Because you have to fill out a personal property tax return every year, tax sheet every year for your business. I don't care if you're a lawnmower guy, a plumber, you're an electrician, you're doing accounting out of your house, whatever you're doing, you have to file this.
I see. So for the purposes of the town doing its business and the people doing their business in the town, it is much more complicated than just getting an Excel spreadsheet from the state.
It certainly is.
Gotcha. Okay.
Any other questions? Council Vandover?
I'm sorry, I just want to be clear. So if you live in Westerly, but you don't work in Westerly, are you required to be on this list? Okay. No, no. Mary says no.
Well, if you have a home office in Westerly, then you're going to register here because your home office is in Westerly. It doesn't matter if you do your business in Providence, if your home office is in Westerly.
No,
you're gonna
Connecticut,
register
like
here.
another state over the line.
I guess
The
I'm
way,
not-
her answer is, the way she's asking it, the answer would be no. Like, if you were register an LLC in Connecticut, then that, Connecticut is where you're doing business. So
Oh, no,
that, it
you
wouldn't
wouldn't-
apply
you
to something like that, but, yeah.
No, no, I don't think, my question is if you live in Westerly and you work out of your house and you don't do any work with that business in Rhode Island, do you still have to register?
Yes, because your
Okay.
business entity is in Westerly. Your business.
Okay, so
So
it's
you're
where
working
you're,
out of your house. It
where
doesn't
it's
matter
located.
where you provide the services, you're working out of
Okay,
your house.
thank you. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? How are the businesses going to be alerted to this being a new ordinance?
Mary, you currently have a list now, correct? For the assessor side of things, we have a list of all the businesses the returns go out to.
We do, yes. But anybody new, they usually come to us because they need something to go to the bank with. So that's how we get a lot of our businesses registered.
He says, how you gonna know who you're renewing? It's gonna have to be through the assessor's office on the business
Right,
returns.
right. We'll have to maintain a list. Yes, we'll keep, we'll keep like a registry.
But once they're in the system, they'll know to come back. It's just, once they're in the system, they'll know to come back and renew it. It's just, how do they?
Yeah.
The same way we supply them with their business return that gets filed every December 31st here. The form
Okay.
Dylan is very, yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion. I think a 50% increase is enough. I've heard what Council Vandover said about looking out for the little guy. Let's go from 10 to 15. I'm gonna make a motion that we adopt this, changing the $25 to $15.
I'll second that.
And to close the public hearing?
Do you want to make that amendment first and then adopt the ordinance as amended? Close.
Okay, there's amendment on the table by Councilor Peacher, second by Council Vandover to revise the fee from $25 to $15. Did I get that right?
Was the motion to do 50%?
50% increase
That
is
would
what I
be
meant.
20.
That would be
For-
$20.
No, if $10 was the original fee, a 50% increase would bring it to 15.
Okay.
So that's what I meant. So we're going from 10 to 15, a 50% increase.
And Mr. Manager, this money is not in our budget. So it's not affecting our budget. This is money going to the state, but also this would cover the time and the supplies that it takes our staff, which is in the budget, to do it all.
We will make it work. This isn't obviously a high dollar item where it's gonna have
Okay.
any significant impact on the budget.
All right, okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? The fee is now $15, 15. Do we have a motion
To close the public hearing at this point?
and adopt the ordinance?
There you
as
go.
amended?
Close the public hearing and adopt the ordinance as amended.
Second.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Shalaba. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance is passed and the public hearing is closed. Thank you. Now moving to item 6B, proposed ordinance, an ordinance in amendment of Article 1, qualifications and employment of Chapter 45 of the Westerly Code of Ordinances entitled Police Department. Discussion and possible action. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
Motion made, second by Council Niemeyer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are now in a public hearing. Mr. Manager, you want to describe this?
Yeah, I actually explained this last time. So basically, the testing process in police departments all over the state has changed. It's a central testing now. We used to previously do our own testing, own written exam, and then we'd hold our own agility test. And then you do your oral interviews, and then you narrow a list down. Now there's a central testing for the state that everyone takes. So when you take a test, you can actually put your name in any police department. So you take one test, as previously, if you wanted to apply to 10 different departments, you had to take 10 tests. So also you take one agility through a company called Fit to Serve. And once you're certified with your agility and you're certified with your test, you're then on a list for a year. And then you can apply to departments because you have your certification on your test and your certification on your agility. And then departments can then pick you off of that list to come down for an interview. So we're still interviewing. We're not conducting the test any longer. So the changes in an ordinance proposed just basically reflect that as opposed to the way we used to do it. So every department in the state is doing this now. So it's the reason for it is because we're all competing for the same group of people. Every police department in the state of Rhode Island, you're competing for the same group of people. So if you pool them all together, you can pick them out of that pool, as opposed to if you're applying for individual departments through a testing process. Well, now you're pulling back and forth. You're testing the same people. The pool is very limited as to what you have for actually applicants. So it makes the process that much easier and thorough on each of the departments.
To make it easier, is that why you took the $25 fee out?
There is no fee in this, so we don't have to.
It's crossed out.
increase-
It's
Yeah, there
crossed
is no
out.
fee. So they do. We don't charge the fee anymore. We used to charge a fee to test. We don't. When you take this test, this written examination, you're paying the testing company. I don't even know what it is. It's probably $25 still. So you're paying them, but then you're only paying it once, and you can apply to every department in the state based on that one testing fee. So there is no fee associated. It's getting taken out completely. So you don't have to reduce it to them. This is saving people money.
Very good. Any questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
And
Do you want-
close the
excuse-
public hearing?
Excuse me. Do you want to make sure there's no one present to speak in favor?
Oh, I'm
or-
sorry. I missed that. Is there anyone present that would like to speak to the proposed ordinance? Seeing none. Entertain a
Motion to close public hearing and approve as written.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Council Shalaba, seconded by Council Vandover. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Proposed ordinance is passed. Public hearing is closed. Thank you. Moving on, unfinished business, there are none. New business. First, we need to suspend our town council rules of procedure. Rule 9D, council operations to discuss and consider the following items. Item 8B, 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, and 8E.
Discussion,
Do I have a
if I
motion?
could. I'm not real clear on why we're suspending the town council rules, 9D. If you look at what it says for 9D, I'm just confused. The president and the town manager shall set the biweekly meeting agenda. Any emergency items that are placed on the agenda must receive a majority vote of the council before being heard. What is an emergency about? I'm just confused as to why we invoke this every time.
Madam Clerk, if you could explain.
Okay.
This is about seeing something for the first time and asking that it be ordered for advertisement, so there's an action to it rather than,
Right, if you read 9D, it states that any matter of new business will be moved to the following meeting for consideration. This gives you the opportunity to consider it and act on it at this meeting.
Okay, so why does it almost doesn't contradict itself, but it just says a lot of, it says 9D right there, the emergency, for emergency. Yeah. And that's fine. I just don't understand why this is all in 1D. An emergency item that are placed on the agenda must receive a majority vote of the council before being heard. Why is that there?
You can vote no. You don't have to.
And no, I know, but I would like to understand what I'm
Sure,
actually voting
we
on.
could
And
probably have more time on this, but it's simply that. In order for us to take action, in this case, or to advertise, we would
So
have to
under these
suspend
spe-
our rules.
under these circumstances, this one, that one,
We-
and
we-
that one.
This could go to another meeting. If this were not, if the rules were not suspended, you could say, move this to the next meeting.
Okay, I just
So
want
it's
to,
kind of repetitive, something that's not, doesn't have merit. No, I'm trying to
okay,
say.
I get what you're saying. I just wanted to be clear, that's
Yeah,
all.
sure,
Because
that's the
I've never
reason.
asked that question and I
I-
read it and I'm like, why are we doing this? So, okay, thank you.
In the good old days, we had workshops. Everything went to a workshop, and then it went to a regular meeting. So that was every week we met. Monday, 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 Monday. Please.
I think as a council, we've taken a little bit too much, and I like to get business done as much as anyone. I don't like to dwell on things. I like to push them along when we make a decision. I like to consider things and move business along, but we've really adopted a laissez-faire attitude about just voting on everything the first time we see it. I mean, our rules were set up where we were supposed to actually think about these things for a meeting. We consider everything on our first agenda item every time now. It's almost become why we even have this town council rule anymore if we're gonna waive it every single time. I would like to go, I mean, especially we got a flag ordinance where I know Mr. Aiello put a lot of work into that. He's not even here tonight. I mean, I'm not comfortable just with this blanket approach that we have every time where we're gonna automatically vote on something the first time we see it. That's not what was intended to do. You said yourself, we used to have workshops. We don't have workshops anymore. So why don't we go item by item every once in a while instead of just waiving our rules? We have a rules for a reason. I would prefer that.
Okay, to answer your question, you're more than welcome to vote no. But these are going to be advertised for
Of them?
public hearing. Yes.
Well, you said A, B, C, or C, D, and E, but you said A through E, so already the first two don't apply to
Yeah,
that. So
A and B are not advertised.
Okay.
C, the more meaty ordinances are C, D,
well,
and
you
E.
did say A through E, so already.
I did.
Okay.
I did, and go ahead, Mr. Manager.
It is on there, and it's just for consideration. Keep in mind, anything ordered advertised, right, you have 3 weeks or 2 weeks, it goes advertising before it goes to a public hearing for 2 weeks longer. So you have 2 weeks before it comes back to the council to discuss it. We don't, anything that is, well, we deem is like a minor resolution, like nothing, I mean, we're not gonna put something, the whole budget before you and say waive the 2 meeting thing. These are minor things. If it's something you have before, certainly extended something until the next meeting. Again, the flag ordinance is just ordered advertised for 2 weeks. You get into the whole debate in 2 weeks. You don't even have to vote on it in 2 weeks. You could continue it if you wanted to. That's just to order advertise. The first two are just simple resolutions, but if it's something you get into it and you feel, well, wait a minute, why don't we, then you can continue it to another meeting. But I don't think if you listen to what the resolutions are or have the resolutions explained, I think you'll understand why. I mean,
And we have done that. We have continued items. The last agenda, we had continued a couple of items, the sewer fees in particular.
Okay, 99% of the time I'm okay, but it just seems like we've fallen into this trap where we waive our rules for this every single time. I can tell you already in 8C, I'd like to make an amendment before we order it advertised because we're paying the Westerly Sun to advertise these too. Remember that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Vote how you want to.
Sure. We're all responsible. Do I have a motion to suspend the rules for items 8A to E to discuss and consider the following?
Poll vote.
Do I have a motion? Right now, there's no motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, second by Councilor Healy. Further discussion? Hearing none. Poll vote. Council Vandover?
No,
No, not on all of them.
Yes.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Moving on to item 8A, resolution in support of Rhode Island House Bill H7224, 2026, an act relating to towns and cities, award of municipal contracts, increase small purchase threshold to $25,000 for construction projects and $10,000 for non-construction municipal purchases. Discussion and possible action. Mr. Manager, would you just expand on
Yeah,
this?
so this is a resolution as they change it at the state level. So currently, it's at 7,500 and 10,000. And they changed it at the state level because of the cost of things, and it was probably changed to 75, I think it was 3,500 and 5,000 10 years ago. So they bumped those up as far as what municipal was the purchase threshold for construction projects. That's all this is supporting the House bill, which makes total sense to support it as projects increase. I mean,
Councilor Healy.
Is our procurement policy in-house, or is that something, like if you guys have to edit it to fix this, does that have to be brought to us?
state
State does it? Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
No, but I just want to say, we still have this fan behind us, so I didn't hear a word you said. No, if you guys could just please just speak into the thing, because again, if you're sitting here, I can barely make out what he's saying, and I don't mean to be a pain in the neck, but if I can't hear what you're saying, I can't make a informed decision. Thank you.
I make a motion to approve 8A resolution in support of Rhode Island House Bill H7224.
Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Shalaba. Discussion? Hearing none, all in support of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition to the motion? Seeing none, resolution approved, item 8A. Moving to 8B, resolution in support of Rhode Island House Bill H7049 and Senate Bill S2147, adjusting primary election day to Wednesday after Labor Day. Discussion and possible action. Madam Councilor Healy.
I mean, this kind of goes with what we talked about last time. This was brought to us in our town council report. So I think we all went over it last time, but for anybody that wasn't here, this is just helping our internal staff really the most with the holiday falling right on the Monday of Election Day. So this would help a lot of the hustle and bustle. And so I will make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion approved, seconded by Councilor Shalaba. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is approved. Moving to item 8C, proposed ordinance, an ordinance establishing policy for the display of flags and symbols by the town of Westerly. This is to order advertised for public hearing on 3/16/26. Councilor
Yes.
Niemeyer.
Councilor LaPetra mentioned that he had some tweaks he wanted to make to this. I also have some tweaks I want to make to this that may add up to being substantive. Thank you. So perhaps we could work together to kind of figure out what we're aiming for respectively, maybe get it all in one package, but to avoid the cost of
you can change at the public hearing, if I'm not mistaken, Bill, minor modifications. It's
Well,
something-
that's
Minor modifications.
my
right?
fear is that my changes may be substantive.
Sure.
So it may add up to a new public hearing. So it may be better to do it. So rather than do that, perhaps we should collaborate, see what we're thinking. Maybe we can get this done before advertising it.
Well, I could probably give you a quick what I want to do right here if you want.
That would be helpful.
Sure.
Okay, what part of it? I'm probably I don't know, Mike, how, if we see eye to eye in this or not, maybe we do. I know that you probably like flags more than me, but where is it? Here we go. I took a look at, and I'm I like to keep things simple, I guess. I mean, it's country, state, town, or with some, maybe some additions, but the part that got me was when we get to Chapter 1 of Title 36 of the United States Code. And people could petition to hang those flags on town land. And I said, well, what does Chapter 1 of Title 36 entail? So I looked it up, and the kind of flags that people could be asking for, I'm just gonna read some of these. A flag for Save Your Vision Week, a flag for Pan American Aviation Day.
Mother's
Uh,
Day, Father's Day, I went through that too.
All
yeah.
right, all right. So I would just leave the ordinance as is and just cut that. That was what I was looking to do. Just cut Chapter 1 of Title 36. Is that?
I could maybe get behind that. I have to look
Okay.
into it a little bit more. I have bigger things in mind. So
Okay, all right.
I would like to talk,
All right.
with other people.
Fair
but
enough, yeah.
In general, I would like to talk it over and just make sure that it's something, that, there's a good temperature for, but I would like to make a motion to continue item 8C to a future meeting.
Then I'll
rather-
second that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Motion to continue, seconded by Councilor Petra. Discussion?
I just have a question.
No date.
Let's move it to 316.
The meeting or the
The meeting.
advertising?
The meeting, 316, which is new business on 316.
I just have a question for Mr. Manager. Just out of curiosity, it was brought up. Has anybody ever called and requested a Mother's Day flag?
No, but I have received calls for some wacky flags, so I have not, I don't know if I've ever received one for Mother's Day, but
I don't know. I didn't know we had a Mother's Day flag, so
I don't even know if there is one. I don't know if there is one either.
I know. So I don't know. You might have a call from me soon.
Motion to continue to 316. I said that, seconded by Councilor Petra.
No, don't over advertise, Sean.
No,
We'll
you
hold
want to
off.
move the order to advertise to 316 to hopefully correct it by then?
Yes.
You got me confused. What's the motion?
So the motion is to, as it appears here, where it says that it would be ordered advertised, we would move that to 316. So instead of it being order advertised for public hearing on 316, it would be ordered advertised for public hearing on 4/6/26, I believe would be the date.
They're going to discuss it again on 316.
We're just
to be
continuing
ordered
the
advertised.
the whole
So
agenda item. We
you-
want to continue.
You want to continue it for further discussion on March 16th, but order it advertised for April 6th. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Motion to continue to 316 for consideration to advertise for 4/6, whatever. All motion made by Councilor Niemeyer, second by Councilor Petra. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This is continued. 8C. 8D, proposed ordinance, an amendment of Article 2, exemption of elderly and totally disabled persons of Chapter 229 of the Westerly Code of Ordinances entitled Taxation. Order advertised for public hearing on 3/16/26.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Healy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance is,
This is just for the record, this is an adjustment we have to make every year based on the thresholds. So
it's done every year. It's set by the tax assessor.
I'd like to discuss, can I discuss that for 1 second?
Sure.
I mean, we know we're gonna have this COLA increase every year to adjust the chart. So but we have to advertise this ordinance every single year, huh? All right. You're welcome, Wesley son, that's all I'll say. All right.
Moving on, item 8E, proposed ordinance, an ordinance in amendment of chapter 1439 of the general ordinances of the town of Westerly entitled Reenact and Readopt Chapter 1242 entitled The Westerly, Rhode Island Zoning Ordinance of 1998 as amended. Order advertised for public hearing on 4/6/26. Discussion.
Discussion.
Mr. Manager, you want to first introduce how this got here?
Okay. Skip my discussion for now.
Yeah, so this has been going on for quite a while. So there's certain regulations that came down from the state side that basically forced us to change our zoning ordinances, not for Wesley, this is the entire state. So in the packet, you'll see there's a memo from Scott Levesque breaking down the changes in the packet that are mandated by the state, based on the state changes in the state statutes. And then there's some on the municipal side were suggestions from the planning board, some of which had to happen because of the way the state is changing. We have to change some language on the municipal side. So there's some municipal ones that were in there that do not have to be considered if you only want to take the mandated changes on the state side. And just to be clear, so as you go through that, it's lengthy because I know I received emails from some of you yesterday saying, good God, what am I reading? But if the first step is to order an advertisement. When it goes to the public hearing, Scott Levesque is willing to come to the meeting, to be able to speak, to answer any questions, to kind of explain it more thoroughly during the public hearing in case there's a comment from the public or something that wishes to have something answered.
Thank you. Councilor LaPetra? Okay.
Yeah, I've started going through this and I think we ought to move the public hearing way out. We're coming into budget season. I mean, if we have to do the state ones now, fine, but suggestions and all that, and I want to know which ones are suggestions and which ones are state mandated as well.
It's broken down in that list from Scott. Hang on. There's a memo in there from Scott attached, which breaks them all down. Hang on.
Where is it
Scroll
at the
down.
end? Because I didn't even get that far.
The rear lots was one that was discussed at the planning board.
Yes,
It was
and I
moved
was
on.
not
So the
for that at
very-
all.
Hang on, it just went away.
It
So
was,
there's a memo, of course, if you got
You
through the
left it in.
23 first pages, it would be on page really 24.
what's the number in corresponding? 116, 466, where are you talking?
No, it's at the very end of the ordinance. So there's 23
whole
pages on the
thing.
ordinance, 23 pages on the ordinance, and then there's a zoning ordinance amendment to town council. This is a memo that was prepared by Scott
Okay.
to break down basically the projects.
I wish you would have put that in the front. I've been going through this
You didn't get
thing,
to, and
eating breakfast.
it basically explains everything. Hang on, let me just.
It's
So
at the
these
page
are-
23.
Yeah, I see that now, but
Hang on.
so
And then there's a planning board recommendation. Hang on.
these are
Yeah, so the- not the
zoning,
planning
following
board, the one
zoning need to
before.
be approved. They need to be approved. So all that he put here is all just state law. It's
Right.
none of what the planning
Yeah.
board or the suggestions of the planner. Right?
Town council to comply with the recent changes to state law. So,
Mr. Manager, when I went through it, I didn't see, I read the whole thing. It was all just bringing us up to state regulations, but there was minutes also attached that say that as well, that this is just bringing it up to state. So I hope that we can get this done quicker, just because it's not anything that we need. to have.
the memo looks
That we
like
can change.
there's,
Yeah.
this is all the required state changes. If you look at the memo after page 23, but there was some that was suggested. Well, the whole ordinance changes on there because it should be all in red, correct? And
Okay.
There's some that are lined out in black.
It says, section 2, the following sections do not directly relate to amendments made to the Rhode Island general law, but should be approved to match the revisions to the zoning ordinance.
Right, those are changes at the local level. Where are you reading that, Rose?
It's Roman numeral 2 on his sheet. It's right after 260-50-3 comprehensive permits, which are getting forced down our throat. This is not good. Do you see it?
Mhm.
So some of it in here is this section of it. And again, I didn't get a chance, I didn't see this part because I just started at the beginning and started going through it. I didn't realize it was even there. This needs to be done very carefully. And I get the state stuff. If we don't have a choice, then we don't have a choice. But suggestions and things that were done here at the local level, I want to make sure that I have a chance to really dig into it.
If I could jump in, I agree with Council Vandover. I attended the planning board meeting where they looked at all of this and formulated what the state required versus what is aspirational, I'll say, by the former planner. And one of the town initiatives, rear lots, was discussed, and the planning board had put that aside. They listened to testimony on it and all, but they didn't come to an opinion. They wanted to see what the effect would be across the town. So there's more work to do by the planning board, and that's in the minutes that were provided for us, that they were on the last page, that they would add it as a future agenda item. The planning board would look at it as a future agenda item. So I don't see where the planning board did get to that. I didn't go to every planning board meeting. Yeah, so that I believe isn't supported.
So
I would take 260-47 rear lots out of this.
You have to read their memo as to what, they didn't consider some of that stuff. You're right. They said it needed further research. Or they would,
So I would want to take that out before the public hearing. Councilor Petra?
Mr. Duan was right. It wasn't just one meeting. This was a few meetings for the planning board. There's a lot of material. There's a lot of material here. My first question is to Mr. Manager. This will be advertised with the QR code, I hope. Otherwise, we're gonna go broke in this one.
absolute QR code, yes.
Okay. All right. So circling back to, I mean, it's a lot of material. Before we would advertise it, I'd like to have a full council here. I understand most of it is just gonna be updating ourselves with the state laws, the state changes, and it's probably, we're gonna end up adopting, maybe we adopt 90% of it, but before we advertise it, this is one of those big ticket items that I wouldn't mind pushing off one meeting and getting a full council and digging into it a little bit more. That's just my opinion.
If you want to push it off for the full council, it'll have to be in April. I won't be here next week, next council meeting.
We're probably out of compliance with this for 20 years, for all I know. I don't think another month is gonna matter.
yeah, I don't think there's a big rush on this. I want to be very careful about what we're doing here.
So Mary, I believe this would bring us to the May 4th meeting. If we skipped, budget was talked about. So if we skip through budget, our first one is May 4th.
It says May 6th on the agenda. Oh, April, I'm
Yeah, I'm in
sorry.
May.
To move it.
Yeah. So I will make a motion to continue this item to May 4th,
I'll second that.
2026.
Sorry,
No, you're
I
good.
cut you off. I'll second that.
Let me know if you prefer for me to have Scott come in and go through it before you order it advertised. The only advantage you're having, if you do it after it's ordered advertised, you can continue it as long as you want after it's ordered advertised, is if there's public comment and he can answer those questions at the
If
same
he could
time.
come on May 4th, this isn't to order advertise at all. This is just, so if Scott can come in on May 4th.
I agree.
That's fine by me. I just want to let the public know, we're not rushing anything, in my opinion. The planning board had this in front of them, most of it for a year, and debated over several meetings. So we're not jumping the gun on the planning board. And this is state law, and if we're not in compliance with state law, then there's potential that it doesn't serve the town. The state law allows for the town to have some input on some of this. And I just don't want to not have the planning board involved in a lot of this development, which is starting to shape up that they won't be involved if they can just go forward without it. So that's where I'm coming with this, councilors. May 4th is fine, and having the planning board solicitor who compiled all this at the meeting is very prudent. So a motion made by Councilor Healy, seconded by Councilor Shalaba. Oh, I'm sorry, Vandover. Seconded by Councilor Vandover. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
Opposed? Very good, thank you. Moving to communications and reports, liaison reports. Any activity? Council Shalava?
Well, just wanted to let you know on March 13th, the Olean Center is having a sugar concert for, you know, I can't even say the word, thank you, benefit. And then they're having their 60th birthday dinner on April 24th. And another thing with the Westerly Library, the culinary division of the high school under Chef Jamie Finkelstein is getting a refrigerator like we have at the mental health facility and that they have at the high school. They'll be the third place to actually have food available for people that are having food insecurity. And this Friday at 10 a.m., they're going to do a ribbon cutting at the library for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to also describe the food pantry that you're a big part of?
So the culinary division of the school makes food and then they prepackage it. And they have a refrigerator at the school site. They have brought food down to the mental health resource center. And for us on Thursdays and Fridays from 4 to 6, we open our doors and give out food to anybody who needs it, no questions asked. So it's also to help with food waste. The goal is to, you know, not have food waste, and we've been doing this now for the last 3 weeks, and we've given out 98 meals.
Very good, that's impressive. I'm sorry, Councilman Dover?
I'll try to be brief. Okay, EDC, unless, Michael, you want to go over that? They talked about, again, the marketing plan. They met with the planning, some members of the planning board were there as well, talked about all the things that we just discussed here pretty much in with Mr. Brockaway and what we could do to try to get that off the ground. Also, planning board, they saw the application for the old Benny's building and they showed some pictures, which I have here if anybody wants to look at them. It's looking like it's going to be a great deal, and I think they have a few tweaks they have to make, but all in all, it's looking good, and they were very doable. They were willing to do whatever it was going to take to get it off the ground, meaning the owners. So I think we're going to have a nice. The building is beautiful. It really.
What kind of building? What kind of business?
It's a lumber.
Lumber.
People are going to be able to drive in, pull through these storage buildings and alleyways and get their wood and all kinds of supplies. It's really been thought out very nicely, I have to say. I was impressed. I'm happy to see that building getting used for sure. So I think it'll be great for Westerly. And then the other one, I went to Harbor Management. They were, we talked about the Spring Avenue hearings that are scheduled for March 9th and for April 13th regarding Spring Avenue at the Senior Center at 6 o'clock. And also there was a concern of the rights of way emergency access for, to make the minimum width 8 to 10 feet. And the snow that was put in front of the rights of ways, that was a concern to the harbor management and how we could go about rectifying that situation. They're just not wanting those rights of way blocked. So that's that on that. And then the veterans met and they approved to send the flag ordinance to us, which we just talked about tonight. Great bunch of guys, really worked on that hard. And again, they're still accepting applications for people to get put on the plaques. And also they were going to, God, I have so many notes. It's incredible. They wanted something else. Oh, their roof and their furnace are in need of repair. So I did speak to town manager regarding that. I'm sure they've come to him as well. We got to look at that in our budget coming forward. And it is our building as a town, so we do need to take care of that. They discussed switching over from oil to gas. I tried to talk them out of that, and I will explain why later. And also Mr. Turco, John Turco, World War II veteran, looking to get some type of either plaque for him or a bench put over at the north end. Toronto, John Toronto, Columbus Circle put in there. There's a few other benches, I guess, in there, or possibly putting, there's a Toronto Avenue or street. They want to put his name over the top of that. It's all in the north end as well. So they also approached the town manager on that, and we're working on it. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Very good. Council Niemeyer?
Yes, so on March 21st, the Westerly 250th Commission is going to be putting on their Independence Ball at the Armory. That is March 21st, is from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can buy your tickets on the Westerly Town website, or you can also go to rhodeisland250.org, look up the Westerly 250th Independence Ball. There's a buy ticket option there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I believe tickets are selling fast, so go ahead and get that for yourself.
Very good.
I got mine.
Any other liaison? Very good. Moving on, Town Council 22326. Is anything on there?
I do. I do have some things I'd like to just.
Sure.
One of them being Hopkinton Town Council President asking for an update on anything that we do, excuse me?
He wants to be notified.
He wants to be notified if there's updates on the, so that he can be here for those meetings to.
Alex works in Hopkinton Town Hall.
Okay, so be in joint meetings with us as far as at least to be here to find out what's going on our end. So I think that we should make an effort to have them here. It does affect Hopkinton's as well as us.
I did talk to Mike Geary, and as he knows, we will let him know if there's anything going on with it, any progress. He knows. We've been in communication with him. He just hadn't heard anything, which is why he sent the letter.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to bring up was the town of Foster's school employee background checks. The fact that we don't have a background check in Westerly is shocking to me.
So there is a background check. It's just not
As
not
extensive
outlined as that.
as what they're
There is a
calling for
background
here.
check for all any school volunteers, employees, coaches, anything like that. There is a background check they're required to go through, even volunteering at the school.
But I would like to entertain this one. I think it's much more, I think it digs a little deeper. And when we're talking about our children, it's no joke these days. We all know what's going on. There's a lot of things stirring the pot these days right here in our little town. And I think that protecting our kids is paramount. So I would like to, I'm going to suggest that we write something up here on that one. And also the low to moderate income housing issues. With the state shoving all of their zoning regulations down our throat. They're trying to make us a one state town. Everybody's got to do what the state says. This is very dangerous for us. We are all different little entities, and the state is currently trying to take over our ability to rule and dictate our own towns. And this is also going on with the schools. They also would like to do that with the schools. So I think that that's also something that we're going to need to, these resolutions that were sent forward, I would like to entertain one of those as well. I will put that on the following agenda. Thank you.
Very good. Any other discussion on the town council report? Okay, moving on to town manager.
The one item on there is just just be advised the summer pops is scheduled for the June 20th, rain date on the 21st.
Think we'll have snow on the ground?
It will be, I can assure you it'll be gone by then. I don't know if all the piles will be gone, but it'll be gone by then.
Looking forward to that one. Town solicitor,
Nothing this evening, thank you, Mr. President.
you did provide a letter for the,
I did, yes, thank you. This probably is a good time to mention that, thank you. An issue, thank you, an issue was brought to my attention that was coming before the canvassing authority regarding term limits for school committee members. What I learned in responding to that question on behalf to the canvassing authority, and I shared with the council in a memo, is that section 11-1-1 of the charter does not accurately reflect what was approved by the voters at the 2016 election. And that the, number one, the charter should, through the clerk's office of the publishing company, the charter should be corrected, that it accurately reflects what the voters approved in 2016. And specifically what that difference is, the amendment as approved by the voters included the term 2 consecutive 4-year terms. So that definition of a term being 4 years, somehow between the election and printing in the charter got left out. But what's approved by the voters, and I can tell you that I've looked at all the original source documents, looked at the work that the Charter Commission did in 2016, looked at the resolution that was passed by the council, looked at the question that was on the ballot that was overwhelmingly approved, and all those original source documents provide that additional language of 4 years. So that needs to be corrected in our charter. The town clerk and I have already spoken about that. She's going to make sure that that happens.
very good, yes.
Mr. Conley, is it correct as it pertains to the town council? If something like that would happen on the town council, is the charter correct for us? Or is
So-
it just the school committee?
Yeah, so the, that amendment, meaning the 2016 amendment, affected only the term limits for school committee members. It does not affect the term limit language as approved by the voters in the 2024 election and currently in the charter for council. It's two separate sections of the charter.
And ours, for the town council, it got scribed correctly into the charter?
did.
Okay. Well, that's all I care about.
It did.
Me too. Thank you, Solicitor Conley. Moving on, agenda referrals and backlog agenda items. I'm sorry, Town Clerk?
Nothing to report, except that the town charter will be corrected.
Thank you. Again, item agenda referrals and backlog agenda. Is there any, Councilor Vandover? You had two, that's why.
We might have the same agenda referral. I was gonna ask that, our budget meetings be done out here for the town to witness rather than in the courtroom.
You know, I suggested that last year and there was opposition. I think it was this group.
I mean,
It's a good idea.
Okay, then maybe we can get it done this year. Need 4 of us.
The good old days, that's what we did.
Just keep in mind, you have planning and zoning. I think that was some of the issues. They're scheduled here and they're televised, so that becomes an issue.
Doesn't the council supersede them? They can go somewhere else?
Well, they're on TV too.
Yeah, they're also, yeah, they're also streamed and televised, and some of their hearings are already noticed. We would have to check, I'm not sure.
I thought we were top dog. I'm mistaken?
Yeah, but yours are workshops, which is why they don't have to. go to-
I had written an email regarding this because I felt like we needed more space. And I had been advised about not being able to move those. Before I got elected, I was told that there used to be meetings be held at the senior center. and other auxiliary locations, seeing as how we only record on our recorder, that would be fine with me if we were to move somewhere else, but I left that as an open item for.
I think I just heard Council Healy suggest the planning board can go to the senior center. Is that what I heard?
Saying that the council budget
Oh, I
workshop.
misread that completely. Yeah.
No, you guys aren't getting his sarcasm at all, It's like.
But the issue, if the issue
Oh my
is room, we
God.
can, if the issue
Me
is room,
either.
we can
It's
certainly,
Not funny, he's sarcastic.
we can certainly set up more tables in the municipal court to make it a bigger working area as opposed to the single table.
No, I want him televised. If we can at all pull that off, I'm with Dylan on that one.
We would have.
You're
to
gonna be here on
redo our
Saturday
entire
nights, you
calendar.
can do that.
We-
Friday, Saturday nights. I mean, there's planning, zoning, Tuesday, Wednesdays.
We're-
The days that we picked for our budget meetings, are they already booked up, Mary? Is that we telling, we checked it yet already?
Yes.
Oh, we have?
planning
Oh.
and
Some,
zoning in
yeah,
April.
sometimes, most of the time, this room is taken, but you also have to consider, if you do want them televised, I would have to check with the local cable station because they do other meetings live throughout the week, like, yeah, and it would probably be tape delayed, it would be shown at a later date.
Listen,
We could technically probably, I don't want to, Mike's probably over there cringing what I'm going to say, but if we set up a municipal court with bigger, I mean, if we can't do it here, which again, we've tried it and it just doesn't seem to work, a bigger table area, we can set it up for a live feed to Facebook
I
and
don't think
record
there's
it.
enough room in there for 2 tables. I am willing to be proven wrong.
Oh,
But
well.
I,
It's definitely probably the same size as this, and I think we put 4. but-
where the judge
Yeah.
sits though, and where the municipal clerk, we'd have to move, anyways.
Yeah,
It doesn't, basically what I was gonna say is next January, when whatever council is here, should take this into consideration. If they want things televised, that January should be when that gets done.
I don't know if that would solve it. We have the zoning and planning meetings that are regular.
we have to just look at the
We-
dates that they're scheduled and what
We-
dates this is free, and if you're willing to schedule the meetings around it, we can make it work.
We can move our council budget hearing if it's possible, but
Final budget meeting?
no, the workshops.
Oh, yeah, you can, absolutely. You can. We've done them on Saturdays before. I mean, there's nothing going on Saturdays.
I'm just saying the next January won't be any better, but. Okay.
Well, let's circle back though, just one last
Point
thing.
well taken. Let's try to get that done.
Just the last point, Alex, Council Healy did say possibility that we could set it up in the courtroom. Are we going to explore that at all? Or did you guys want to try to explore that option at all? At least to see if it can be done or, oh, you are?
I can do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
If you prefer the senior center, I mean, we can, the same feed we can do there or the courtroom. It doesn't really make any difference.
As long as it's televised, I don't care where we go. Oh,
Social media, I can have a link.
all right, so.
And then you
streaming, but
can,
not-
Mary, you could post it on the site after it's filmed. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, he's probably talking streamed as opposed to the local cable
Post to
station.
live.
So it won't be on Verizon and Cox Cable and all that? It will just be on Facebook or whatever?
The
Not
only place we
live.
can do that is here.
Yeah, not
If it's
live.
available here. I don't even know if we schedule meetings in here, it may not even be available for this live TV portion of it. We can live stream.
Yeah, it's live stream.
That's how the CRMC meeting was telegraphed.
It is live stream only. It's not on TV. Live stream.
Well, I'll take that over nothing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll work on it. Council Vandover?
Yeah, I wanted to see a resolution for Westerly, resolution for school employee background checks. House Bill 7356 and Senate Bill 2216. And also for the resolution for the low to moderate income housing. Not really sure which one here, but they're all basically the same, I can get you something. You know what I mean? The resolution, because there's a few of them here. Yeah, low income, yeah, low to moderate income housing resolution and the school employee background checks. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Thank you.
Any other referrals? Okay, moving on. Requests of town manager? Any requests? Clear out the piles of snow again? Request of town solicitor? Hearing none. Thank you all. Citizens' comments? Anyone in the audience that would like to speak at this time on any subject? Seeing none? Oh, here we are.
I know you guys miss me. Ben Weber, 3 Blossom Court. Thank you for allowing us to speak. Just a few things. First and foremost, little leeway, hopefully. I'm here as the chair of the Harbor Management Commission. Thank you, Rose, for bringing up a couple of things at our last meeting. Just to clarify, snow removal, I get it. This is ridiculous. I'm ready to move south. But it was actually brought up by members of the public. So like, just an example, Everett Ave was brought up by somebody saying that it was blocked by a snow pile from the previous one. So just, we're here for the public to relate to you that if anything can be done in the future, come up with a plan to not block them, because technically it does violate the harbor management plan, the town ordinance, and state law. Now that it's a state designated right away. If we can do something else, that would be perfect, because people like to go and fish during the winter. Another thing, I'm here for a PSA, public service announcement. Members of the Harbor Management Commission have been for years now going through the Harbor Management Plan and doing, working through for amendments. A lot has changed over the years. Some things are obsolete, the data, for example. So as a public service announcement, the members of the Harbor Management Commission are putting together a possible proposed amendments that are going to be recommended to you guys. There was concern that members of the public weren't properly notified of that, or should be properly notified of that. So I'm here to do that now. Again, we are only an advisory commission. We only do a recommendation. So I would assume that the town council, after it gets our recommendation, would perhaps hold a workshop or something. But anyway, the public is more than welcome to come to our meetings, and all of our agendas are posted on the Secretary of State website, and all of our meetings are recorded. That brings another thing that we did bring up. The town's website is not very user-friendly, and it hasn't been. So getting the agendas on the town website where somebody could easily find them is a possible request that to look into. And then finally, Breach Drive, it's on the next meeting's agenda that was supposed to be at 7. Just a statement, drainage plan. Breach Drive was sent to CRMC for possible designation as a right-of-way. So I just want to make sure that that was thought of in that plan. Haven't seen the plan. Now, on a personal note, not as the chair of the Harbor Management Commission, as me, Ben Weber. Fort Road litigation. I was unable to attend the meeting where that was on executive session. Again, I just want to reiterate the fact. I've been saying this over and over and over again. I know you all were either compelled or used taxpayers' dollars to do a survey to find out where Fort Road was. Perhaps we wouldn't have to raise the $25 amount if we didn't waste money trying to find a road that's underneath the Musquamacket Club, the original location, or underneath the parking lot, the second location. The only thing that matters is the 2008 resolution. So I don't know why, in front of a judge, you as the clients didn't tell your solicitor to say, hey, we don't need to know where it was. We only need to know where it is, based on the agreement that was made in 2008 between both parties and memorialized in writing in the minutes. Already been settled. There's nothing to negotiate. Put a signature line on the 2008 resolution and have this case dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that I can't see that would like to speak to the town council? Seeing and hearing none. Council's response, anyone? Councilor Vandover?
Yeah, I was also, whenever I go to look for the harbor management meeting agenda, I have a heck of a time finding it. My question is, and I get that, is how come harbor management is not located under the same area where the boards and committees are listed? That is a question for, I don't know whom, but.
Don't understand your question.
So under the boards and committees.
It's there, they're there.
The harbor management is not there.
We just entered into a new program with Clerkbase, and right now, anything from 2025 forward, everything is going to be included. Their agendas, if they have an audio, their minutes, it's all going to be in one central location.
Beautiful.
But in the older ones are listed under active boards.
Perfect. Great. There's your answer, Ben. Also, the harbor management plan, I did request that we talk about that it's on our agenda referral list. So yeah, keep working at it, I guess. And as far as the 2008 resolution goes, that would be a question for our solicitor. So thank you for coming, Ben.
Sure, Councilor Healy?
Sorry. Obviously, we can't get into much of executive session, but I was told that the survey is public. Were you able to see that? Yeah, okay. I am under a different impression and would like to maybe speak offline. I saw that as a win. It shows where the road is and that it goes quite a way in. I saw that as proof that the road isn't under the water. The road is on land, and we can prove that now. If I am misunderstanding that, like I said, I would love to touch base with you on that. I think that was it, though. Thank you, and thank you for the update on the harbor management stuff. You might have left something up here at the podium. Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? That concludes the citizens' comments, council's response to a motion to adjourn.
Actually, a motion for a 5-minute recess so we could go over the next agenda that we have to do, the 7 o'clock
We have
agenda.
another meeting to,
Right. So 5-minute recess.
I think we adjourn this one first and then we open the other meeting.
that would make sense.
So I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, seconded by Councilor Healy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now adjourned. 5 minutes till the next agenda. Are we all set? Okay, I'd like to open up the second meeting for Wesley Town Council on March 2nd, 2026. This is the new items that were not added to the rescheduled meeting. Recognitions, awards, and memorials. I want to award our town clerk for her great whoopie pies. Awesome treat. Thank you.
We need to wish our solicitor happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bill.
Presentations, non-citizens comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on the agenda? Seeing nobody present. Moving on. Consent calendar, approval of minutes. Is this right? 2/9/26, regular minutes?
In the 2/9/26 minutes, under the appointments, 1C, 1A, B, and C were all nominated by myself, Counselor Healy. Aside from that, I motion to approve the minutes with that amendment or changes.
I'll second that.
A motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Counselor Healy is the chair of the appointments committee, so that would make sense. Was that the amendment? Do I have approval of the minutes? Okay. All right, fiscal matters. Item 5B1, resolution authorizing the waiver of penalty for late payments of $721.43.
This is the one I got to recuse from. I jumped the gun in the last
Oh, I thought it
time.
was the last.
I thought so too. I
I'm
gave you
sorry.
two agendas.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion by Counselor Shalala, second by Counselor Van Dover. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Counselor LaPetra has recused. Fiscal matters B2, resolution authorizing payment to Jonathan Burchett of Chicago Title Insurance Company for Napatri Point Title Research, $9,280.00.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made, second by Counselor Van Dover. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution approved. Resignations and appointments, Counselor Healy.
The appointment subcommittee is going to be bringing forward interviews in the next week, and we will touch base back, but as of right now, we do not have any nominations.
Very good.
A quick discussion.
Yes.
Would Pawcatuck Wild and Scenic Rivers Stewardship Council? I'm just curious what it is. I mean, how long have we had this council? Is it forever? We've had this forever? Who's on? One person on it? I just saw one name on there.
There's one full member, I believe, and then one like half member. We just put Mr. Robert Madison, who also is serving on the 250th Commission. He was installed as a full member.
Was it vacant, completely vacant up until then?
No,
Oh,
no.
there was somebody else on it?
I'm pretty sure it was the,
Oh, I'm just wondering what this council does. It's another one of those things that I have no idea what they do. I don't know who they talk to. The state requires that we have a Pawcatuck Wild and Scenic River Stewardship Council? Okay, fair enough.
right. Moving on, public hearings, there are none. Unfinished business, there are none. New business. This is also requested to suspend Town Council Rules of Procedure, Rule 9D, council operations to discuss and consider the following items. Items 8A and 8B. Do I have a motion?
So moved
Is there a
Motion to
second?
suspend the rules.
to suspend the
And-
rules.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Rules are suspended. Item 8A, 250th Commission for the Semi-Quincentennial Budget Overview, discussion and possible action. Mr. Manager, you would put this forward?
Yes, I did. So there are some invoices that, well, billing that I've had that are before you. And we're trying to come up with a way, the council has approved up to 75,000. We applied for grants. I just received the drone contract back today, so that'll be before you next meeting. But some of these minor expenses, because I had mentioned we were originally adopting this. Can you hear me, Rose? I'm trying to. Okay. Adopted the 75,000. I said, look, any billing we'll bring before the council so you guys can approve it as we go. Of course, I'm looking at this now. If I get a bill for $12 for paper plates, a bill for, I mean, this is a little ludicrous. It just seems so. I talked to John Gagne and I said, look, break everything down. So we came up with this funding voucher as to what he's looking to charge. And then the line item is charged against, which is listed below. And then we'll keep a tally on another spreadsheet as to what they, so if you look like this one, the first one, funding voucher, $540. And if you go down, it's for the celebration logo, project overview, 12 hours and $45 an hour to design their logo. And then the next one is $400 for, I'm trying to even see what it is. What is it? Let me see what it says. $400, oh, DJ services, Independence for the ball coming up. And then the next one is $800 for, it's a dance lasting approximately an hour and a half. So it's a period, it's for music and social hour. So they're submitting these. So, and then of course, after I put these on, then there's one for 46, 2780. And that's the food vendor, Timemark is who they went with. Now, the overall ball is probably going to be a positive income because you're paying to go. So you assume it's going to pay for itself. There may be a little bit of expense. And then this is the breakdown of the invoice from the thing of the vendor for it. So we're not paying anything for the hall because obviously the town owns the armory. So of course, after I put this on the agenda, then I had, which I put at your seats, I had 4 more invoices come in from him. And I said, all right, so as the council, you have to tell me how you want to handle this. I have no problem, but we wouldn't pay anything without invoice for it. We wouldn't pay anything that went over any type of budget. The big contract, which is probably the biggest, is probably the drone. Will come back before you, which I just actually sent to the solicitor today to review to make sure it made sense. But some of the others I received. So there's one for 2 ball banners, like 250th banners from Coastal Graphics for $186. $125.50 for a Westerly 250th flag. And then I had one for billboard to advertise ball, $1,575. I'm assuming, let me just look, that is the, well, it's $1,575 to make the graphics for the billboard, which I'm assuming is going on the billboard down here, which I'm not sure we're paying for because the graphics are $1,500. And the fourth one I got that's not on this, $839 for the light pole and banners for the light poles downtown to say 250th, it's a 250th year to hang these banners on the poles. So these are minor expenses. I mean, if you want every single one to come, it seems to me kind of ludicrous. If there's big ticket items that require contracts to be signed, I will certainly bring, unless you want every single one brought forward like this.
I don't think we do, Sean.
Yeah.
Councilor Niemeyer, you're the liaison.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think we should probably just bring forward items they'd be signing a contract. This nickel and dime stuff, I think, is just going to clog up our own meetings and not produce much of value for anyone. Maybe
Slow them down as well.
yes, I think probably just, maybe keep us appraised of general spending levels. But I don't think we need to know exactly, when they spend $12 on a pack of cups.
So their budget breakdown is on, you'll see the budget breakdown, like Independence Falls, $15,000, but I think they're anticipated making around that on the ball, right? So that may be a zero out. Printing and logos, celebrating the 250th is $4,000. There's a tree planting, $500. I think we're getting the tree from the state. So, because they're giving every community a tree. You have privateer enlistment, Wilcox Park, 2,000. Auction Day, Rhode Island
Those
Independence
are
Day.
historical.
Oh, that's the
reenactors.
drone
Yeah.
event. There's another one at the town hall step, the time capsule, which I know they're pricing to get this time capsule. It's going to go in $4,000. I mean, some of these are minor. The bigger ones, raise the pint to Tessac Gray Sale Brewery. There's no amount even on that one. I'm not sure it's costing anything. So.
Now we're getting a lot of donations and donated services from folks like Gray Sale, from the Chamber of Commerce. So a lot of those are going to be zero, or they're going to even out like this event. But if they do have to sign a contract, I think that's pretty standard for it to come before us.
In the
But-
drone one, we had to go through the whole bidding process. We put it out to bid. We got bids from other drone companies to come in. We rated them, and then we came up with obviously the best price one and rated the highest, which is the one that we're doing a contract now with, to come back before you.
So there's no contracts before us tonight, really, so I don't think there's.
It's just
anything-
invoices they're looking to get
Yeah.
authorization to pay. Naturally, they will be paid through the town. It goes through the whole AP side of our finance, which they'll have to be invoicing and so forth. They're not just going to pay something ahead of time, so.
So we are going to wait for invoicing on some of these.
It's up to you how we wouldn't pay anything until we received an invoice.
All right, I would say then motion to authorize these payments pending invoices.
I didn't hear that.
Motion to authorize these payments pending the receipt of invoices.
Discussion,
Do we have to second that first, though?
just a second.
I'll second that, just so we can discuss.
I would like to discuss also.
Some of the things that we have in front of us are estimates versus invoices, and they're estimates from the same company. There's no reason that they can't get invoices. But also, if you look online here, some of the things that we've got here, we've got an email saying DJ services are $400, and yet the attachment says $800. So how do we know what's the truth, what we're going to be paying? I mean, this is an issue. It says it right here in the data. I think, companies can give us invoices. I don't think we should be paying on estimates. I think we need to pay on invoices.
I would want the.
Well,
the
we would not
motion to
pay.
reflect the manager having the authority.
But we wouldn't pay
pay.
anything not on an invoice. We would not pay anything on invoice. And for the town-wise, all the terms is net 30, right? So we get billed after they have some. We don't prepay for things. I mean, I know the drone contract does require some sort of deposit. Again, the solicitor's reviewing. But, again, that's the direction I was looking, as the president just mentioned, some direction to allow some of these minor bills just to move forward at our disposal.
So not approve of these invoices, but give him the authority to.
All
approve
right,
invoices.
I'll retract my motion, and give me a second to think about what we're considering here.
Okay,
But-
would you retract?
I'll retract mine as well, my second.
But the other question I have too, like I said, is the information that we have, on the system here, where it specifically says in an email, it's going to cost us $400, and the invoice or the contract provided to us is saying $800. So, how are we gonna fix this? How are we gonna determine what we're really gonna be paying?
Can you read which What's the description of expense that you're looking at where the numbers are different?
Yeah, the difference, this is a dance. This must be a dance group doing
Because
some,
we now have 8
it's music for
invoices.
social hours, some teaching, dancing type of thing, which I guess you'll all have to practice and get good at, but that's what the $800 is. I think the DJ is $400.
Mhm,
So it's two different services, so it's 1,200 between the two of them.
mhm.
So DJ services playing music during the ball, and this second one is a dance group that must do some sort of
There's one that
teaching.
does like period types of
Oh, the
music
different
with,
period dancing?
with
Yeah.
specific instruments and stuff.
Right.
That's what was printed in our things, but
So it's two different vendors, one's for 4,
Right.
one's for 8.
all coming from the same line item, which is budgeted, which I haven't seen any issues with that. I still have a question. I'm just waiting to make sure Mary's done. My only question, I did check with Counselor Niemeyer. Do you know what logo this is pertaining to? I know that we have the logo that's on everything. It's on these papers, it's on the pins we've got, it's on their social media. But now we're paying for it. But when that,
No, I think the person already did it in hopes to get paid.
well, when that was presented to us, Dylan asked who did it and Seth Logan said he did it.
I can clarify that. I know when they did this, like the Westerly is from some
Yeah,
document
it was
going
like
back
a,
to the 1600s
yeah, it was
or
like a
something.
thing
It
and
was a script.
it was asked by multiple people and it was confirmed that he did it. No. Oh, yeah, logo, yes, it's $540. It is to John Vacora.
Vacatura.
Yep, sure. I'm 78% Italian. I'm fine, don't worry.
John Baca, that's a Wesley name. You couldn't.
I'm not
Vacatura.
even from Westerly, guys. Like, what the
Vacatura, that's
hell?
yeah,
I
I
just-
can,
I-
I can get clarification.
If you could just
on
get
that.
clarification on that one, I only bring it up because it was publicly talked about. So it was like, that didn't make sense to me. So that's all I have.
Yeah.
Counselor Del Petra.
First of all, I like to say I highly doubt that Seth Logan is looking to make $540. I highly doubt that. There must be some expenditure. Maybe John Vacatura did some computer work or something. I don't know what. I haven't seen it, but I can guarantee 100% that Mr. Logan isn't looking to make $500 on the logo. As far as the analysis of breaking down the $75,000, especially by Council Shalaba, I mean, it's not too long ago, I wrote a subsidy policy where the town of Westerly passes out hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And all I was asking is that we see some receipts of how that money was spent. And Council Shalaba voted no. She didn't want to see how any of it was spent, but she's ripping this $75,000 apart line by line. Good for her. I think that all we really need to do here is we allocated the money. When the drone contract comes back, yes, that's a $60,000 ask. Put that in front of the council. I think we could trust the town manager to take care of everything else. I mean, I don't need to see the little $300, $400 invoices. We have a very capable town manager. Everything other than the drone contract, let's him take care of it, knowing that $75,000 is the budget. How hard is that?
That's what Counselor Niemeyer suggested.
Can I make a point of personal privilege, please?
He said bring the invoices in, but.
I just want to clarify for the record that I did not say anything about Seth Logan making any of this money. So I really would appreciate accusations coming out of your mouth.
You inferred it.
No, I said that Seth Logan created the logo. And I'm asking why we're paying another individual.
There
Please
is a
listen
difference.
when I speak because it's really just dragging these meetings on, making me talk more.
I'll do anything to stop that, so.
Any other? Counselor Vandover?
Yeah, I really don't think we can not trust the people on this committee, first of all, and this nickel and diming is ridiculous. We have dished out more money in this town to many different projects, et cetera, and we have never asked for a line-to-line invoice item, pay this $12. I mean, come on. We need to let them do what they do. We assign them, we voted them in, we have to trust they know what they're doing. And the town manager, he's not going to pay something that's not legit. We're wasting our time doing this. We gave him a $75,000 budget. And I agree with Counselor Niemeyer and Counselor LaPetra. We need to just, you take care of it. It's not, unless it's a huge item like the drones, fine. But everything else, I don't want to see a $12 invoice. I'm sorry, that could be for a cup of coffee in this town these days. That's ridiculous. Thank you.
Counselor Shalaba?
I never said that we don't trust the committee. I never said we don't trust the manager. I just said that I did misread the 400 and 800. I did misread that. That's fine. We're all allowed to make mistakes, but I do think that we should have invoices, or the town manager have invoices versus anything else, so payments can get met. And I just want that to be clear.
Yeah, so this committee is the only one that has oversight or thought to have oversight, and they didn't know the process. They being the committee, they being the town manager, how much do they want of the town council? Every one of us is saying we don't want to see these invoices, that the town manager and his staff can go through procurement just like they do every other project. So I would hope the motion be made is that the town manager has authority to approve these invoices. And I'll throw out there, with the exception of the drones, we're all interested in the drones.
If you're making a motion as the president, I'll second it.
No,
So can I say so moved?
so moved, you can say.
Second.
Second by Councilor Petra. That said, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The town manager has the responsibility. Okay, moving on. Item 8B, resolution authorizing awarding the contract for Breach Drive Stormwater Drainage Improvements Project to RT Nunes and Sons, Inc., $74,995. Discussion and possible action. Town manager?
Yeah, this is a fail. This has been in the scope of work for a couple of years. This is a failed drain down on Breach Drive, just to give you kind of location. It's across from Seaside, very, very flat road that floods during high tides. There's a drainage in there that has to be replaced. It's been a couple of years in the works. We finally got the green light through CRMC to go in there and do it. There's funding in place for it already. It went out to bid. RT Nunes was the least expensive bid on the project. That's all.
Is it in the middle of the cul-de-sac or at the end?
Middle.
So
the
there's
middle.
the right of way's at the end, isn't it?
Right away, there's a right of way at the end. There's a right of way access to the water, but the road we own. This is the
Yes.
drainage in the road that starts on Atlantic Avenue and goes down about halfway down the roadway. And then dumps into the marshy area is where it goes out.
Okay.
But there's some old corrugated pipe that has failed, which is not, there's nothing draining at all. So there's a reason for the repair.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Seconded?
Second.
Second by Councilor Niemeyer. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is approved. Expensive pipes. Item 9, I don't believe there's anything new from our last meeting. Okay.
I just have a request of the solicitor, and this is just because it came to my mind after the last time. When I was on the previous agenda, I am fully in support of Rose's agenda referral for the school's background check, 100% in agreement. My question is that something for us to do or the school committee? Should that be something that I request to be not removed? I'm not trying to remove it, but I'm worried that we don't govern them. So I'm just trying to, can you help?
Sure. So it's a state statute which would enable, it's really the school committee that ultimately would have to do it. Because what that resolution does is simply support the legislation that would require the school committees to do it. So if that statute passes that the resolve supports, it would be up to the school committees to actually implement it.
So we would just be showing our support to the state, like, hey, we agree.
We think this is a
Okay.
good idea. Yeah.
Perfect, 100% in. Thank you.
That's it. Moving on to citizens' comments. Anybody in the audience? I don't see anyone. Moving to adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Look at that,
Aye.
less than 9 o'clock. We got 2 agendas.